Hey, how you all doing? Welcome to this Litex tutorial, or Litex overview, should I say. Litex is a new image editing app available in the App Store. It costs £1.49, and I should imagine it would be around $2. I should imagine. I don't know for sure, but I can't see it being much more than that. So, as I said, Litex is an image editing app. It's nowhere near as polished as Enlight. I don't think so anyway, but you know, I think with a few updates they could get there, and there is some quite cool things that you can do with it. I will have a play around with it and do some more tutorials at a later date, but just for now I'm going to do a quick overview, a quick fundamentals on how to use the tools and how to use Litex very briefly. So we're just going to select this image here, and we're greeted with this screen right here. In the top left hand side we have open, and that would obviously open your camera roll, and then we have this, like next along we have this like download button, but it's not a download button. Well, it is, I suppose. What it does, it saves the image in its current form that you have on the screen to your Litex album within your photos, because it creates an album for you. And then the next one, we can save images out, and we can save them in low, medium or high form, as you can see there on the screen, and we can save them to these obviously various social media: WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, email, or you can go more right here, and we could go save image there. So that's how you would save the image out. And the top right hand side of the screen we have these this little settings wheel, and all that does is allows you to see video tutorials, which are quite good, and normal tutorials you can share right and obviously right to the developers of the app. So in order to get to the tools, we can slide from the right hand side of the screen over, or we can just tap the right hand side of the screen and just push to our left, and it will give us this tools view here. And our tools is broken down in various headings, under various headings. At the top we have instant, then creative, selective, shape, pro tools, and tools at the very bottom. So another way that we can get to our tools is the little pencil in the right hand side. Now I'm going to start from the top. At the top is just simple filters. We can go along and select whatever filter we want. Along the bottom you can see in blue I have these daily filters selected. We could choose paper, and it would give like a paper texture behind the image, vintage, retro, glow, drama, or black and white filters. So the drama is a little bit different. You just got this bright and the dark, but you notice on all the images that I use, if I use this retro, if I select one of them, so I've got it in a blue square along the bottom, I can select it again when you see this slider, and we can edit some of the settings within that selected filter. I'm just going to click this cross button here to go back. So on the bottom left of our screen as well, you can see this like this little mirror with a circle around it, and if we select that, it just shows you what the image was like, and that will be on most screens. I'm not going to save this out or keep this image as it is. If I would just use the tick button at the top right, and if I did do that, the tick button at the top right, I'd be greeted back with this view. And down the bottom we've just got again how the image was, or we can select the undo button, which was next to it. Just show us our tools again. So that's filters, and then we have artistic, and we just have different charcoal paint and modern. And again, the modern, what's different with the modern, which is quite nice, when you select the modern, we can either double tap and we get the this ability to edit using the toolbars here. Likewise, what we can do is, anybody's familiar with screen blending, we can just use this roller on the screen right hand side to apply different screen blending options to our image as well, which is quite cool. It's quite nice, looks quite nice and very easy to use. I don't want to use any of those, so I'm just going to click the cross button and go back. Next we have this selfie, and on the selfie all this does is a bunch of tools, and I'm definitely going to do a tutorial on this on its own. The selfie, all it does, it gives you a bunch of tools for when you select selfie to allow you to sort of remove dark bits under your eyes and blemishes and all that good stuff. But like I said, I will do a tutorial on that in itself. Next we have the creative. Next down we have creative. And the first thing we come to is this cutout. So the cutout is quite tool. Cutout tool is quite cool. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to draw with my finger around the outside of the image. Okay, so next we have creative. And the creative on the first one is the cutout. So what I'm going to do with the cutout, select the cutout. I'm just going to tap the screen so it gives me my tools. And with my smart select tool on the bottom left selected, I'm going to draw around the outside. I don't know why it didn't let me then. That image. And then if I click next, it will show me that image with the selected part that I've just used cut out. Then we can use the anchor button here to change and switch that image. We can see what it was. We can duplicate the image by selecting this little button on the left hand side, like so. You can make quite a nice sort of collage with that. So we can change obviously the background image, the effect and the filter on the bottom toolbar there. I'm just going to click back for now. The smart arrays, all the smart arrays will do is remove some of the effects, or some of the effects from an area that I use on the image. You can't really see it at the moment because I've not applied many effects. Or you can use the select tool like so to just rub over with your finger and apply some image. And likewise with the erase tool, I'm just going to remove that effect that I just applied, and I'm just rubbing with my finger. At any time you want to see want to go back in, you just click the undo button. I'm not going to save that out, so I'm just going to click the back. So let's have a look at our tools again. So where my image went, I slid it off the screen. Let's have a look at our tools again. In the blend mode, obviously we can add an image bottom left. We can add a cutout, like I just showed you how to do the cutout. We can add a cutout, or we can add these quite cool presets, which are quite nice. So I'm going to add a preset, just use my fingers to resize the preset, and then use this slider bar here to adjust the intensity or the opacity of that preset, and then we can change the blending modes down the bottom here, and you can get some quite nice effects going on like so with some of the presets. So I'm just going to close that. I don't want to use any of those. And then we go to the color mix. The color mix, I just have this 2 patterned color swatch. What I can do with I can select one and it highlights blue at the bottom, a little blue glow at the bottom you can see. And then on this color wheel I can just move my finger across and select a different color, and I choose the other swatch and select a different color on that. So that is my my color blend. This little crosshair button that's selected in blue, it would just move that filter for me, so it would move it as a wanna. It's not a very nice thing and not a very nice effect, and it's hard to line up again. So then we can go on the blending mode and we can blend that color again. We can screen blend, soft light, hard light, just sort of blend modes, or we can do it at an angle. All I'm going to do with my finger, I'm just going to run around this angle like so, and it will change the angle of the color mix that I've used. That's quite simple. And then we go to the selective. On the selective, we just select a brush, so we can select an area sort of by moving our finger, and it will apply an effect to that area. And then we can change that area like so, and it is quite effective. I did that very crudely. Let me show you a little bit better. So I'm just going to apply sort of an effect to this area here. Change the tone of it. I'm going to double click the tone, and I'm just going to change the way that looks in comparison to the rest of the image. And you can add quite a professional touch like so. I'm just going to click the cross button and then the cross button up here because I don't want to apply that. And then we can go to the color splash, and again I'm just using an area with my finger, scribbling that area in, and then selecting the filter from the bottom, and again with the shades, the paints. This motion is quite nice. It gives quite a nice motion. So if I just undo this and I select this area just here, and then I select that motion, you see it's quite nice. And if I can double tap, you get this sort of effect, and it's quite a cool effect. I should imagine you could put two images over the top of each other, screen blend them, and use that motion effect on the bottom one. It would look quite cool. And then we go to, where were we? The color. So on the color, I don't want the we can just match colors of the of backgrounds, if you like. So if I go to this this background here, it changes it all white, so I can match the background colors. I can match all of the image to any background color, and then I can apply a filter, double click the filter, and mess around with the filters there. So that's quite an easy tool to use. And then we go on to the shapes. On the shapes, on here, I'm just going to refine the shape. So I'm going to refine an area, select an area, and then sort of change the shape of that area. So like, if like I've pumped his chest out a little bit there, you can see, or we can use the point tool to sort of warp the shape. So that looks quite cool as well, quite effective. You see, if I go back and show you how the image did look, like so. Now I've just made his shoulders a little bit broader, made his chest a little bit bigger as well. So I'm just going to cross on that. Then we can reshape. On the reshape, in the touch, we're just going to touch, and we can rotate the mess with the image like so. I'm going to click back. I'm going to go to that reshape again, because I never showed you the pinch. So I'm going to pinch and squeeze the image to change the shape of the image as well. Click the cross button because I don't want it. On this perspective, the little perspective tool, I can swipe my finger horizontally or vertically, and just get a different view of the image, like so. So it fills the image back in for you, you notice, but what it does, it makes the let me show you what it looks like. So like so. It just gives you a different take on the image. It's quite a cool little tool. And then we've got the curve, the Pro Tools. On the curve, so on these curves, we've got the RGB at the bottom, red, greens, blues. I can add up to 5 different points on this curve line. So I'll just tap the curve line, and I've added another little white point. You see, on the left and the far right of the box in the image, you can see I've already got 2 points. I've got 3 with a 1 in the middle, so I could add another 2. And all we do is we curve this image and change the reds, the greens, and the blues, and it gives you like you could just create your own sort of filter effect if you like. Just get used to messing about with it, and once you practice with the RGB and the curve tool, it is quite an effective tool. Likewise with the levels tool, it's going to slide along my finger along the levels along the bottom, and again I've got my RGB selector, reds, greens, blues selector, and again you can just create quite a nice filter effect. So on the balance, we can just balance the colors, and as with any balance tool, we have shadows, midtones, and highlights, and we can select them from the bottom like so. It's quite a nice little tool as well. And then we have the transform tool. So this is where I could just crop the image just by using my finger, or you can have the predefined crop sets there. Click the cross button, you can rotate the image like so, just using the slider. Once we've selected rotate, or we can flip the image either horizontally or vertically. We can flip the image like quite easily just using that button there. So that's the transform tool. On the adjust tool, obviously we just got the light and the tones, the colors, and the RGBs, and they are very self-explanatory, speak for themselves. Again, you can have quite a nice filter, a manual filter, and get the effect just the way you want it. The focus is like tilt, shift, blur, so we sort of move this circle to wherever we want it, and it'll keep that area clear and the rest of it blurred within the circle like so. Or we could have the shift, where we just got the lines across the screen, and within the lines it's clear, and outside of the lines it's blurred, and you can adjust the blur intensity of the outsides with this little swatch, with this little slider here. And again, the mask, we can just select an area to keep clear and then blur the rest of it like so. So that's quite an easy tool. And then finally we have the text tool. So the text, I would just tap to enter the text. So on the left hand side we can select our font, on the right, on the little keyboard there, we just type whatever it is we want to type, and then on the colors there, we just swipe our finger over the colors, and then this little two boxes along the bottom is the outline and the main part. So this is the fill, and I can adjust the brightness and the alpha color of the fill, the alpha luminosity, and then here we've got the outline, and we can make the outline a little bit bigger with the tools on the right hand side here. We tick the button to select that as our text, and then we could place that text wherever we want just by dragging our finger, or we can resize the text or rotate the text like so. So we can click the cross button, and that very crudely, very quickly is an overview of LiteX. Like I said, I will have a mess around with the application itself, and if I think it's worthwhile, and I think, you know, you can do some quite cool things with it, then I will put out a few tutorials, I'm sure. But like I said, it's a really good app. Not as professional as Enlight, but it's getting there, and I'm sure with in a few updates time, it will be really good, really user friendly, and really cool to use with some great effects. But like I said, as soon as I've got some cool things to do with it, I'll as long as people want me to, I'll do some tutorials. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope you have a great day. Catch you soon.